All right. We are live on YouTube, and I am streaming on StreamYard. Okay, here we go. So upon request by Marie, Megan, Olivia, and Maria, I think. I have a feeling I'm getting her name wrong, but I think it's right. Anyways, it's not a big deal. Well, maybe that's not actually true. Names are important. I take that back. Here with things set up. So yeah, I am live in YouTube, streaming in StreamYard, and I may, I'm feeling up for, I may throw it into may throw it open at X or Twitter. Literally. But for now, I don't know. This is just who I am. Making sure it's working properly. Everything is working a little slow. That's okay. We are both two streaming services at the same time, so obviously that's taking up quite a bit of computing power. It's going. Julia, sorry. I thought it was, I said Julia, so Olivia, Julia, Megan. Okay. Julia, Olivia, Megan. Okay, got it. It's Julia, whose name I couldn't remember off the top of my head. So it's Julia, Olivia, and Julia and Olivia that had recommended to make this video. So that's what we're doing. So I am going to get right into it now. So I'm going to do guys first because I'm a guy. So I'm going to list 5 things that I'm going to promote, encourage, and do frequently in a relationship to have a healthy one. So there's a few things that you guys need to do that would help it. I mean, to stop. So breakup worthy, I would say. Small things to the breakup worthy things. First is not listening to your own. I'm telling you from the start, not your girl. It's gonna piss her off in more ways than you could possibly imagine. Second, if you're gonna be in a relationship, you need to emotions. Now, I'm not saying all of females' emotions are validated or valid, because they're not. Not all of them are. But it's equal whether just because they might be a little exaggerating or more expressive than you'd like them to be. You have to understand that women are generally more verbally expressive than men. That's fine. That's just how we're wired. Women are more verbally expressive. And when they have something to get off the chest, be a man, suck it up and listen. Emotions, and definitely don't tune them out. Don't stop listening. Don't think you shouldn't be attentive to your woman. This goes back to the golden rule in the Gospels too, right? Treat people you want to be treated. How would you feel when dismissed or downplayed? How you felt? You wouldn't like it either. So reciprocity. Do to her as you would like her to do to you. It's a simple rule for life, but honestly, it works for every area of it. Okay, the third one is guys need to treat your woman guys. Now, this is more prominent in families where there's one sister and where the one sister kind of gets treated like a guy because she's the odd guy out, if you will. So, but in a relationship, this is a no-no. Do not treat your lady like she's one of the guys. Now, I'm not saying don't include her with the guys, but don't treat her like one of the guys. What I mean, like, don't roughhouse her. Don't, punch her on the, and don't tell guy jokes to your lady. So don't treat your lady like one of the guys. Okay, this one would be obvious, but should be obvious. So don't, if you have issues, relationship, because a relationship's going to have issues. Whatever you do not correct or approach or attempt to settle any kind of dispute or contention between you and your lady in public. I'm telling you, correcting your lady in public is pretty much a guarantee, if not for the doghouse, at least probably a good, okay, we need a break. But it can, if you don't nip in the bud soon, it can definitely lead to the loss of the relationship itself, because it's just such bad etiquette to call your woman about something in public. Now, but there are exceptions, okay? So if your woman is drunk and swearing at you, cursing at you, and accusing you of things, I'm not saying to return fire with fire, but I'm saying, well, that's not true. De-escalate the situation if that happens. But if you're with someone who's drunk in public, you may want to consider your choices of a mate too. So just leave it there. And finally, of course, the number one deal breaker for just whatever relationship is cheating. So be faithful. Don't cheat in your mind. Don't cheat with your eyes. Don't cheat with your heart. See, cheat with your body. You first have to cheat with your mind, your heart, and your eyes. There is a circuit connection between your mind, your eyes, and your heart that most young people never think about, because young people a lot of young people just don't think. So it's not very surprising that we have this society where most of us don't know how to function without getting upset. Okay, so don't do that to your girl. But in regards to like etiquette too, I would say learn how to not take things personally that you know you shouldn't. Try to deal with things in a diplomatic tone of voice goes a long way in relationships, especially for guys. Well, both sexes, it's very important. All right. So those are the 5 things that guys absolutely should not do in a relationship. And these are the next 5 things I'm going to mention are guys absolutely should do without fail and on a frequent basis. So I'm going to start from the smaller stuff to more important stuff. So information and confirmation. So if your wife or girlfriend does something, let's just say you worked hard all week and she washed your car for you just because, and just so don't take it for granted, but say something. And you just say, babe, listen, I know you washed the car and I didn't ask you. You didn't have to do that, so thanks for doing that, babe. Appreciate you. Love you. Maybe give her a kiss. Physical affection is very important, but it's the moment that a woman will feel much more receptive to physical affection once the emotional, verbal appreciation has been. Actually works both for guys and girls. That when we're validated as people, we're receptive as mates. It's like so. Leave it. Okay, so just be appreciative. Make sure you're. So the next part would be. Let me see. So pretty appreciative. Secondly, I would say. This should be. I mean, if you're an adult, this should become somewhat naturally without being told, ironically, anyway. So, take out the trash, do the dishes, help her out the laundry. If you got kids, help split your child care responsibilities to the best of your ability in a way that works for you as a couple. So that'd be it. So do things without being told, and express gratitude and appreciation when it should be expressed. Third would be, at the end, doing things of a romantic nature. Say not your typical, wouldn't be your birthday or anniversary. So if you're a guy and your lady chocolates, flowers, and cards on a every so often on days that are not in and around her birthday or your anniversary, to show her that you care about her and that you're thinking about her. The other thing I'd also mention on that note is that try to make sure you're catering it toward her likes. Like, for example, I know my mom likes the color yellow, and my dad is very keen on getting my mom yellow flowers. So there's pay attention to themes, and I would say pay attention to themes, and then be romantic in your relationship and take initiative in that endeavor. Demonstrate sacrificial servitude in a way that would what's the word? Instill a sense of reciprocity. So, for example, if I were to domestic things mentioned, so do dishes, other things too, like cooking, cleaning, general housekeeping. So, mentioned, but I would say they need to be mentioned only insofar as how you decide to divvy up the responsibilities between you and your lady. Other than that, it's there's a lot of flex. And the first and foremost important thing for a relationship, for your ladies, affirm her, but obviously sincerely. So look, babe, if she's having a bad day, I got your back. I'm your biggest cheerleader, and I'll always have your back. I'm here for you through the thick and thin, and I'm committed to you no matter what happens. And then follow through. So there's expression of words, and there's follow through of actions. And as we all know, we should say, talk is cheap. Words speak actually louder than actions. Words are important and they're necessary. Words have to be married to action through integrity and commitment. All right, so now I've run the full game. I'm going to switch over to advice for girls, the things that girls should be avoiding, and the things that girls should be doing and expressing. So I'm doing it again, small scale, bigger scale. First one I would mention is don't neglect social cues, social and when you're with the example is say if your man comes home, he used to work 12-hour shifts. This is a good example, right? Just hypothetically speaking. If I come home from work after 12-hour shifts, my woman asks, "Hey, hon, how's your day? What'd you do?" Same as always. And I've given her indication now, my second verbal response, that I'm not really interested in carrying on a conversation. I just got home from work. I'm tired, and let's work together and getting something on the table so we can both eat and then rest. And also, I would say in that, so if your woman, pay attention to those cues, and understand that your man may not always want to talk, especially if he's just come home for a long day of work. Most men just want to chill, and I think that's reasonable. To avoid is being unnecessarily expressive, especially again, say for another example, if your man has just come home from work end of the day, good, bad, or otherwise, but you just feel like you gotta share what's going on to your man. You just can't wait. Now, there understand that a woman would want to share. So you're just in many times in situations, your woman won't even have to. So your man, if you're a man, you can just make sure you're paying attention, but you don't probably have to talk situations anyways, because your woman just wants to express what's going on. And if your woman, as much as you want to get this off your chest and you're excited, or whatever you may be feeling to share, understand that your man probably doesn't want to hear too much. You would hope that you could listen without turning out, but I mean, you may see your man tuning out at some point too. So just pay attention to that. The third thing I would say for women to avoid is unnecessary detail in conversation, and this is much women than men, generally speaking. Stit test. I remember when I was in grade 8. That's 95, so that's 19 years ago. That this stat had come out that on average, the average women spoke, what was that, 10? No, it was more. I think it was 12 or 13,000 words a day, and men were like 7 to 9. So obviously, women are typically more verbally expressive. But I would say women, it's fine to be, we have an expression, beat a dead horse, which is just a blunt way of saying, once you've made your point, move on. Men don't like it when women beat the point to death, so to speak, and that don't like it. Yeah, women don't, or so men don't like it when women are unnecessarily elaborate. Actually, men don't like it when anyone's unnecessarily elaborate, especially if we're tired. So watch your Dr. Jordan Peterson said, and you can do that as a woman. Maybe harder, but it can be done. And there are a lot of succinct female communicators. I know some of them, so just putting that out there. Okay. Second thing that women should be avoiding to do with their man is, I would say, taking things simple. With my ex. My ex's birthday is in January. I have a sister-in-law's birthday who's also January, and I said to her in one conversation that that sister-in-law is the only one in my family that has a birthday in January. Like, and it like that sister-in-law is the only sister-in-law. Right? I did not mean it to mean that my ex wasn't part of the family. My ex chose to take it that way unnecessarily, which was immature and uncalled for on her part. She took it that way because I didn't mean it. And then finally, last but not least, the habit that women should avoid more than is being condescending, demeaning, and kind of like just cutting your man down with words and intonation and making him feel like 2 inches tall. I would say far the worst trait for a relationship. But a lot of men don't know how to deal with it because the dynamics of between the sexes. A lot of men don't know how to deal with it. They feel like crap and they just live alone with their partners, or sometimes the men will just leave, or sometimes the woman will just leave because women can't respect men that let them walk over them emotionally. Okay, so those are the 5 things that women should avoid. These are the 5 things a woman should do, and I would encourage every woman to do these things in the relationship with a man, or maybe in the future with a man if you don't have one at the moment. So the first one, same thing, but differently. Just be verbally appreciative of what your man brings in a relationship and what he does in a relationship. So that would yeah. So for example, let's just say for example, you're low on milk and cereal and maybe a few other things around the house, and you don't have time because you're busy with the kids, so you ask your man to pick those things up on the way home from work after he's worked. He's part of the relationship, which he obviously is. Then it should not come as a burden to him. He may be tired, he may not want to do it, but he should do it as the man in the relationship. So, and then say you have a man that actually followed everything on the list to the best of his ability. I mean, sometimes I've been where things weren't there, so I just get something alternative, closest thing you can, and come home and just when your man comes home with that grocery. So thanks, babe. I really appreciate that you got those groceries for me, and I couldn't because I had to deal with and take care of the kids, and so I really appreciate that you did that. yeah, just that. And then men were married. Second thing I would do is if you're a woman, for your man on a semi-regular basis that affirm how you feel about him, that makes it demonstrates how you feel about him. So maybe into maybe your man is tickets to a hockey game, or maybe he's a like me, he's a music fan. I'll get him tickets, or maybe you too. You can make a date night. Get him if you like the same music. Get tickets to a show and have some fun. Yeah, stuff like that. Actually, yeah, I'd say make dating a regular part of your relationship. Even actually, especially if you're married, make dating absolutely essential to your marriage. Third, I would say if you're a lady, um, things for your man, like still romantic, but not those special occasion things. But like just I am into martial arts, and I am into apologetics. Maybe book me a Turek or William Lane Craig, David Wood, or a tournament to see a live UFC fight with some of the top in the business, or something like that. But also like the smaller things too. So things like I like I enjoy James Patterson book. James Patterson is my favorite, far and away. Okay, I'm only got like 3 minutes.
Okay, can you just let us know?
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so so that would be that. So that the small things too, like say my dad also likes I like chocolate, so maybe get more chocolate, a Henry bar, or maybe something that's like this. I just got a Fitbit for my as a birthday gift, something that would speak to him. So do those things on a regular basis. And number two, I would just say, you would have to, well, yeah, sacrificial. So do things around you have to be sacrificial. You both have to work hard. So that means you got to take care of the house as well. If you're a lady, you have to contribute to the dishes, the laundry, housekeeping. You have to contribute to that. Without a doubt, you have to be key for the success of your relationship for both of you. And again, number one, without a doubt, you have got to be your man's number one cheerleader. And I'm not just talking about in the bed, ladies. I'm also talking about, more importantly, to be your man's cheerleader, verbally, expressively. And needs to know that you've got his back, and that you treat him like a queen. He treats you like a king. You treat him like a king. He treats you like a queen. Everybody wins. And I would also say, too, guys, and I'm going to close with this, is that you have to know that a woman's heart is like a garden that needs tending, nutrients and water, rich soil, and all the things that produce life. Your woman's heart and life will thrive and grow and develop. But if you neglect it and don't water it, pay attention to it, it will shrivel up like and die. Now that goes for both. A guy's heart is also like a garden too, but our gardens are built differently. I'm just going to close with that. All right, that's it for now. Peace out.